Hello everyone and welcome to the MTN Sports Game of the Week. Tonight, we are in Shelbyville as the Golden Eagles host the Hendersonville Commandos. As we are going to welcome you into our broadcast booth tonight, I am Zachary Lohn alongside our color commentator tonight, Simmons. How are you tonight, Dylan?
I am doing absolutely excellent, and what a great atmosphere we've got tonight between Shelbyville Central and Hendersonville. It is going to be a game to watch, and I hope everybody stays tuned in. It is going to be a great night.
So, Dylan, the Commandos come into the night 4-2 and ranked number 9 in 6A by the Tennessean. They have also won their first 2 road games this year. How have they been able to be successful on the road in this young season?
Well, I think you got to look at their mentality going in on the road. And a lot of these road games, they're going to come in early and score early and kind of take the crowd out of it. That has been their mentality, score early and kind of get everyone out of rhythm. And then they can continue to put that pressure on. You've also got to look at how they've responded to losses. They lost against Oakland at home 42-7. Very next game, handed South Warren their first and so far only loss of the season. Shows their mentality and perseverance on road games. Going to be huge tonight.
Coach Dryan talked about it with us before the game about how big the home field advantage is. So let's go to the Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles coming into the night with a 2-4 record on the year after last week's loss to Lebanon. After they lost their first home game this year to Tullahoma, the Golden Eagles have won their other 2 home games. What type of factor do you think the home crowd of Shelbyville will produce tonight?
Oh, that home crowd is going to be absolutely huge. They've been learning how to be a home crowd as referenced by the head coach. And you've also got to think about they're going to be as loud as a jetliner taking off. It is going to be huge. And that is going to be a huge factor. We've seen professionals and collegiate athletes even get out of rhythm, out of sorts, thanks to crowds. If that crowd can get in the head of Hendersonville, it's going to be a long night.
And it is a big home field advantage, of course. But, Dylan, who are some players that we should be keeping our eyes on tonight on both sides of the ball?
Well, I think when you look at Hendersonville, there's really 3 main offensive stars to be taking your eye on. Luke Manning, first of all. He scored 5 touchdowns last week and has been dynamic this entire season. Torrin Baker, he can do damage in both the run game and the punt return game. Going to be absolutely huge. And then wide receiver Ellis caught 3 TDs last week. Has been an absolutely huge weapon for them. As for Shelbyville Central, I think we're going to be looking at Cade Cunningham in the wide receiver core. Can they get it together tonight? I'm looking for huge performances. I think they're going to need a few scores to really keep themselves in this game and have a chance of pulling off this one against Hendersonville.
Now, you were talking about Ellis. We learned a cool fun fact before the game that Ellis went to Ellis Middle School Cougars. I mean,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. Just keeping it in the family, keeping his name, I guess. Again, so as you're looking at the fans tonight, we have the Breast Cancer Awareness Night for Shelbyville Central as they are lining up and about to welcome their Golden Eagles out onto the field. What do you think is going to be the main factor in tonight's contest?
I think really it's going to be who can get that advantage early. I think early scores are going to be huge. We've seen how it's paid dividends for Hendersonville, and we've also seen how Shelbyville Central has struggled. It's going to be huge tonight, I think, going to be the main factor.
Well, if we know one thing, is that tonight is going to be a good one. Well, this is MTN Sports Game of the Week. We will be right back for kickoff.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh! I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week. And if you're just joining us, we are back in Shelbyville for the Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles against the Hendersonville Commandos. Well, I think we're going to go through Hendersonville's head coach James Beasley. He's in his 19th season at Hendersonville, and he is an alumnus. Actually, played there the first player, to play in the East-West game, and also the Tennessee and Kentucky game in the high school. So, big background. He took over Coach Hatfield, who was the longest tenured and most successful coach in Hendersonville history, and he is already in his 4 years, 26-16 as a head coach, keeping that winning tradition.
Absolutely, and Coach Beasley, he knows exactly what he needs to do in this sort of environment. Back-to-back district championships for Hendersonville as well has been absolutely huge. This team is experienced. They know what they need to do. They know how to win games, and that is so critical. Some teams, it takes a while to learn how to win games. This team from Hendersonville, the Commandos, they know how to win games, and that is going to be huge, especially in a raucous environment such as this one.
Definitely. And then Shelbyville Central is being coached by Coach Dryden tonight. But let's talk about their key player, Cade Cunningham. Last week, he went 9 of 23 for 175 yards and a touchdown. And he also had 14 carries for 61 yards. What are you expecting out of him tonight?
Well, I think Cade Cunningham is going to be the conductor of this offense, so to speak. He's going to be the guy that everything else is driven through, and he's going to have to be a leader tonight with this sort of environment. We've seen Shelbyville Central, a 2-4 record to start the season, but there is clearly a lot of talent on this team, and really utilizing that offense and getting to their fullest potential on defense is going to be what's key. So far, they've had some struggles, and in their 4 losses, the offensive woes have hurt them. They've put up 14, 14, 6, and 8 in those 4 losses. Offensive production is going to be absolutely huge, and I expect Cade Cunningham to have a big night in order to compensate for that.
They had 358 yards total on offense last week, 183 through the air and 175 on the ground, but they just aren't able to punch it in once they get down to the red zone. What do you think is the key factor tonight into getting and finally scoring in their red zone opportunities?
I think with the red zone, you're going to be looking for a little bit of misdirection, kind of looking into what the other team is not expecting. Sometimes teams kind of know what to expect, a run up the middle, a slant pass, something like that, a corner route. But if you're going to beat this other team, you've got to mix up the looks, mix up the formations, kind of get them off their groove. And if you can do that and start getting into their head by scoring those touchdowns through different means, it's really going to be huge as this game progresses forward.
Again, some other players that we should watch out for tonight on Shelbyville Central is Laquan Young, who had those 18 carries for 102 yards last week, and Gavin Donegan, who scored the only touchdown on a 31-yard catch from Cunningham. But Donegan had 3 catches for 88 yards.
Absolutely, and Donovan had a great game last week, and he's going to have to do a lot more of that this week. 3 catches, 88 yards. It seems like he's almost like a Deshaun Jackson-style receiver. Gets big yardage with very few catches, if you've been seeing how he's been doing lately. And it's going to be those big catches and big plays that are really going to help Shelbyville Central here. And the running situation has also got to be great as well. Those runs and carries, they're going to have to get probably over 100 yards again with the offensive productivity you get on the other side. Going to be absolutely critical.
Now, last week they lost 30-8, but it was 16-8 at half. They gave up 14 unanswered in the third quarter. What do you think happened last week?
I think with the 14 unanswered in the third quarter, really a lot of what took place there is just the fact that were kind of in a down situation. Maybe the minds weren't exactly in it. They already felt like the game was up, and that's something that you see sometimes with teams. And when you give up 14 unanswered like that, it's really something that can weigh on the mind and weigh on the team. It's going to be about keeping that mentality up, keeping your spirits up, and that's going to allow for the team to continue to perform even when they feel like they can't.
Now, let's go look at Hendersonville. They are 3-0 in region play so far. They're number 1 in their region. And the 2 games they have left are the 2, right now, the 4th and 5th out of the 5 teams in the region. And that is Rossview and West Creek. So, if you're Hendersonville, you've basically already cemented yourself a spot in the playoffs. So, what are you playing for tonight?
Well, I think what you're playing for tonight is not only to continue to build that momentum. Momentum is a huge thing in sports. We've seen teams get hot late in the season and then perform come postseason time. And so they've already beaten Gallatin and Beach, which are their 2 major contenders behind them, but there's still a lot to play for. I know it's a non-conference game, but momentum is a strange thing in sports, and if a team can get hot at the right time, they can be an absolute firestorm heading into the playoffs. So I think we're going to need to see an on fuego Hendersonville tonight.
As after that great point there, we're going to go ahead and head to break. Again, you are watching MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week. Hendersonville won the toss, elected to defer. So Shelbyville Central will come out on offense first. And to start us off tonight is Reagan O'Brien. Looks like that's Kendall Trice. And he fills in and goes straight down to 30. And now, here comes Cade Cunningham bringing out this Shelbyville Central offense from their home fans to start off this game.
Absolutely, and Cunningham is going to have to be big here early on. We're going to need to see a lot of big offensive plays to really get the crowd into this one. It can absolutely turn the tide of the game. Look for Cunningham to make some big throws here early and really get that offense stirring.
And here we go, Cunningham. Hands it off up the middle. Met at the line of scrimmage, but I think he still gained about 1.
Looks like he did gain about 1 yard, but look at that Hendersonville defensive line just come in and crush the running back there, right there, Laquan Young. Really shows that they're going to be a presence up front, something that Shelbyville Central is going to have to find a way to deal with.
Definitely, and Young wasn't able to get to the outside because it looked like he may have had a hole if he was able to bounce it.
Yeah, absolutely, and attacking the perimeter is going to be so vital in this game. Like I said before, Hendersonville obviously is going to have a presence up front. Getting around the perimeter can be a huge X factor.
Cunningham fakes a handoff, and he is still running it for a gain of about 5, bringing up a 3rd and medium.
Absolutely, looks like he almost did a hurdle kind of job right there as he jumped over a defensive lineman. And now Cunningham's going to head back 3rd down here. Crucial situation. You don't want to go 3 and out early. You want to continue to build off that momentum that this home crowd has given you. Let's see if Cunningham can devise something here. This is when big players need to make big plays.
Again, big 3rd down. Do not want to go 3 and out on your very first possession. Looks like Kendall Trice was at the top of your screen right there. Here we go, 3rd and about 5. Hands it off to Young. He's got a hole to the 50, and he's got the first down of the night for the Central Golden Eagles.
How about Laquan Young right there, just finding the open lane and finding his way to midfield. That shows the versatility and the speed he has. That explosiveness is going to be huge, almost like a Darren Sproles kind of running back, just busting up the middle and making plays for his team.
Golden Eagles taking almost no time trying to line up back on the ball.
And now a new set of downs that is going to be absolutely huge for the Golden Eagles right here. And they are as good as golden with a 1st down and a big opportunity to continue to build on that momentum. Cunningham
back to pass. Fires it. He has a man. It's caught inside the 20. Brought down at the 15. Gavin Donegan.
What a play by Gavin Donegan right there. Got separation and found a way through the hole. And now Shelbyville Central is in prime position. Just the awareness to turn around. He has some incredible wide receiver skills and showed it right there.
Back to the line, handing it off to Young. And Young gets a good gain of about 2 on 1st down. But again, we were talking earlier in the game about the Donegan and Cunningham connection, and they've already struck first for a big gain in the first drive.
Absolutely. Those two know each other so well, and as this season's progressed forward, they only have continued to build that relationship, and it was on full display right there. What a play by Donegan. Again, getting that separation, and that relationship could be huge. Knowing each other well in this game is absolutely huge. Take Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, for example.
One of the best in the NFL. Cunningham pulls it back, but there's nowhere to go. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage there by the Hendersonville defensive line, bringing up a 3rd and medium.
Absolutely. The Commandos just crushed Cunningham up the middle. Saw it coming from a mile away, and we're starting to see Shelbyville Central kind of with that option-style offense, and that's going to be huge because it's trying to throw Hendersonville off their game. Like I said before, trying a variety of different formations, and that's going to be something that Hendersonville is going to have to address as this game goes forward.
Again, Cunningham getting the Eagles to the line quick. Rolls out. He has his man, and it is, bobbled, but he can't come up with it. Bringing up the 4th down.
Tough break right there. Grogan just couldn't make the catch. Tried to corral it, but just wasn't able to. And that's a catch that you really need to have in the red zone, especially on a 3rd down situation. It's those things, those points that are kept off the board that could be a huge determining factor in this one.
He rolled out, right? Cunningham rolled out and looked like he had his man, just wasn't able to connect. So the Eagles will be bringing on their field goal unit for the first points of the game.
And this is a big one right here. You want to get those first points early, kind of set the tone for your team. Let's see if Shelbyville Central can do just that.
And It is no good. I think it may have been blocked at the line of scrimmage right there.
I believe so. Hendersonville coming off the side, found a way to block it, and now Shelbyville Central goes from a potential touchdown to no points on the board. How about Hendersonville special teams just then?
They looked like they timed it to perfection, but the defender there didn't dive. He had a chance to block it and maybe fumble and rumble it all the way.
Absolutely, and I think that pressure also can kind of get into a kicker's mind at that point. Might have been something that caused that kick to go awry.
Luke Manning brings the Hendersonville offense out as they have the very first penalty of the game for a false start.
Looks like it, and there's that crowd interference once again. We've already heard him get loud in this one, and again, that jetliner crowd is going to have to continue to do that as this game progresses forward, but already we see it paying dividends.
About 1st and 15 now for the Commandos. How big of it was that block, though, for the Eagles?
Oh, that was absolutely huge. If you're Shelbyville Central, you're driving down a chance to really establish a formation early. Just weren't able to do it. It's going to be huge as this game goes forward.
And there's that defensive line presence from the Golden Eagles, as it looks like that was only a gain of about 2 on the play.
And again, there's that defense really coming in. And now Hendersonville's got 2nd and long, which is going to be a tough situation for them. You don't want to make it 3rd and long, especially this backed up in your own territory.
Fake out for Manning, and he rolls out and gains about 3 on the play.
Well scouted by the Shelbyville Central defense right there. They were able to come in on Manning and find where he was going. And again, it's that awareness as a defender that you've got to have. You've got to know where the quarterback and the ball is, especially at all times. And they were able to come in on Manning that time. And now it's 3rd and long. So how does Hendersonville attack this?
Deep inside their own territory, Manning back in the shotgun. See what they have. Rolls out to the left side. And look, there is a penalty flag, but he may get this first down.
Look close. Let's see what the call is.
The spot's about 2 yards short, but this may be coming back.
Could be a holding there on Hendersonville.
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift, actually. There you go. So again, early penalties on Hendersonville have really caused a problem for them. We saw the false start and 1st down, and now an illegal shift. So right now, these penalties are really adding up. And again, those mistakes early on, you want to play mistake-free football. Hendersonville's going to have to clean it up.
And I think they're going to decline this penalty and bring up 4th down.
4th and 2 from your own 25 would be an awfully bold move if Hendersonville decides
Never mind,
to go for it.
they just picked it up and they're marking it off right now.
So now it will be 3rd down once again for Hendersonville. This is going to be a tough situation for the Commandos. For Shelbyville Central, though, right now you got to get the other team off the field. They managed to keep you off the board, but now you've got to respond and do the same thing. You can't let those early plays get in your head. You just got to keep playing your game and keep staying mentally strong, and you're going to be just fine. Let's see if the Golden Eagles can do that right here.
Manning back in the pocket, trying to repeat that magic, and that ball's fumbled, and it's picked up and recovered by the Golden Eagles, number 21, Raydon Crenshaw, inside the 7.
How about the defense that time for Shelbyville Central, just coming in and crushing Manning, takes the ball out of his hands, and now the Golden Eagles are in prime position at the 5-yard line. What a play by this defense. We said they would need to make plays early, and they do just that. The turnover battle, Zach, is going to be absolutely huge, and it just was just then.
If Crenshaw was able to hold his feet there, he was able to walk into the end zone.
Absolutely, and let's see if now the Golden Eagles can capitalize on this opportunity. You don't want those extra yards to come back to haunt you of not being able to get the scoop and score. Got to capitalize right here with this incredible opportunity inside the 10-yard line.
A little bit, and he loses his feet. Did he go down? They say he did. That was Kendall Trice right there. Did a little bit of a jet pass from Cunningham.
Yeah, a tough, a push pass right there. Trice was in position to make something happen there. Could have even scored, but unfortunately lost his feet. And again, you want to stay upright in this kind of game, especially with those opportunities. Trice was going there, and sometimes when you're a wide receiver, you can almost look ahead and see it in the distance, but then kind of lose your footing as you take your focus off of just making moves at the given time. Got to stay focused in this game, especially. Even with the great opportunity, you got to stay focused on the task at hand.
The field is a little wet from the rain earlier this week. Cunningham up top, and it is broken up. Actually, it was broken up by number 11, Gavin Donegan for the Golden Eagles, as the coverage there from Ellis. Ellis had a chance for an interception.
Absolutely. That was very close to a pick right there as Hendersonville came in, and a very risky pass that time by Cunningham. That is a very, very tough play that almost cost Shelbyville Central big time. You can't be making mistakes like that. Like I said, you got to take advantage of the situation. It's go time for Shelbyville Central.
3rd and 10. 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line, I should say. Hands off to Young, and Young keeps his feet down to about the 6-yard line. Do they try another field goal here?
Could be, and again, we talked about how they couldn't get the scoop and score early, and that might be huge right then. Imagine if he could have kept his footing. Perhaps we're talking about Shelbyville Central up 7-0. Instead, 4th and goal, and looks like the offense, at least for now, is going to stay on the field. Shelbyville Central could come out of this with no points after such an incredible opportunity. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Cunningham rolls out to the right. Does a comebacker, and that is out of the reach, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. After 2 turnovers last week, Shelbyville Central turns it over inside their own 10-yard line.
Man, and a prime opportunity missed again for Shelbyville Central. Again, they get into opponent's territory, are inside the 10, but again, this Commandos defense just finds a way to make plays, and now they've got the moxie, they've got the swagger, and again, this crowd starts to get a little bit quieter, and with every failed possession, it's going to continue to get that way. Let's see if Hendersonville can take advantage and play mistake-free football. We saw 2 flags and a turnover on that last possession. It's going to be up to Hendersonville to be more organized. Let's see if they can do it.
After going shotgun all 3 plays last drive, Manning's under center now. Hands that off to the outside, and he gets the edge, but gains only about 3 on the play, as that was carried by Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis coming around the corner there, trying to utilize his athletic ability. And again, you're not going to gain, 10 or 11 yards on every play, but it's about those plays that kind of set into a rhythm. That's kind of what Hendersonville's trying to do right now, get into a rhythm and find your beat on offense. And it's those kind of plays that may seem insignificant, but they're absolutely going to be huge for this Hendersonville offense.
Definitely. Man, hands out. It's fumbled. It's picked up by the... And it looks like the Commandos were able to fall on it, as that was number 26, Devin Mack, it looked like.
That was absolutely huge.
Actually, that was Torrin Baker, my bad.
Absolutely, that was Torrin Baker. He got rocked like a hurricane just then, as, again, the Shelbyville Central defender came out of nowhere, like Randy Orton on an RKO, and just absolutely almost took the ball back for Shelbyville Central. But, again, Hendersonville, a lot of pressure early from this Golden Eagle defense, and so far Hendersonville has not been able to respond to it. And now 3rd down from pretty much at your goal line.
WWE was in Nashville on Monday.
Sign of things to come, maybe?
As actually there's a big hole to the left side. For a gain of about 7, that was Torrin Baker again.
And Torrin Baker that time, he almost found a lane. I'll tell you, if he could have made 1 or 2 more moves, he might have gone all the way. He actually scored an 88-yard touchdown last week, and that shows that he's got that versatility. Good job by Shelbyville Central of scouting out the potential touchdown, and now it's 4th down and pretty much a punt situation coming up here for the Commandos.
As it looks like that is number... I don't know if we have that number. That ball's fumbled. And now he gets it away. And it's muffed. It's muffed. The Commandos recover. It's going to be a 1st down, Commandos.
What in the world just happened? We first had the muffed punt. Then the punt did get off. Then we had a muff on the reception. And it appears that Hendersonville's going to come away with the football. What in the world was that? Talk about a crazy Karen. But sometimes that's what happens in games. And you just have to sit back, enjoy the ride, and take advantage of the situation.
We have had a turnover-filled 1st quarter. Hand off to Baker behind the line of scrimmage. And he gets picked up and slammed. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty on sportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, Baker is down. He got absolutely body slammed right there. We really saw the physicality of that defense for Shelbyville Central. and you want to make sure you rock the other player, but that was something that is going to potentially cost them right there. You got to make sure to have the correct tackling form on these plays.
And while they mark off this penalty, let's go ahead and talk about something that MTN does, which is Blue Raider Extra Point every Saturday morning at 10:30 in the morning. Tomorrow we are going over Liberty, the matchup against Liberty. To see coverage of Middle Tennessee sports, that again, Blue Raiders, that's what it offers. It features a spotlight, a feature story about a new MT athlete each week. And if you're wondering how to watch it, it's on MTN's YouTube channel, which covers Blue Raider Extra Point and the high school football game of the week every Friday. And be sure to keep tuning in the rest of this game. We got a wild one so far.
It has been a wild night for sure. Here we go.
Steps back. A screen pass, and it comes for a gain of about 3 as that was sniffed out by the Golden Eagles defense.
Yeah, we saw the screen pass right there. We saw what Hendersonville was trying to do, get some blockers down the field, but they didn't have the blockers in the right position right there. Again, well scouted by Shelbyville Central. They saw the screen coming, playing really disciplined defensive football, and that's what you love to see. That is going to be huge for them as this game progresses forward, making sure to make those disciplined plays on defense. That is why studying film, knowing what your opponent's going to do is so critical.
Theo Washington there from Shelbyville Central came in from the secondary and made that tackle. Again, second and about 9. That looks like, and he gets a hole. The ball comes out. Almost another turnover. And, oh, this extracurricular activities you saw right there. And that's going to be 15 yards, and it looks like that's Logan McBee.
Well, you're starting to see the emotion really pour out of these players. Even if it's non-conference, even if it's not technically a rivalry game, this game means a lot to these players, and we're seeing that on full display here. There's been fumbles. There's been a lot of physical plays. There's been body slamming. It's going to continue to be this sort of rough game as it progresses forward, and physicality is going to be huge in this one. As we just saw right then, it's going to be quite a game as this game goes forward.
On this drive, the Golden Eagles have committed 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. So that's a total of 30 penalty yards.
Yep, absolutely. And again, it's all about staying disciplined. You can't let them get into your head, the opponent, and they just have in this possession. As we get the offensive handoff.
That's Devin Mack. He almost fumbles it, keeps his feet, and rolls down for a first down inside the 25-yard line.
I'll tell you, the defenders have really been going after the football with Torrin Baker, trying to get that ball to get rocked out, and they have had success at points. But we saw right there Stephen Mack have the ball as well, and he also almost was fumbled it there. So absolutely going to be huge as this game goes forward to see if Shelbyville Central can continue to have those plays on defense.
As now we are actually going to head to break. Be sure to keep tuning in after this crazy first quarter we've seen so far. Make sure to tune into the MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh! I'm going to that game.
As we are back here in Shelbyville, Tennessee with the Golden Eagles versus the Commandos. Manning back in the pocket, looks, fires, overthrows his receiver there. Had a man wide open, and it's going to be another roughing the passer, 15 more yards.
And again, those mental mistakes by Shelbyville Central, they just continue to cost them on this drive. We've seen the roughing the passer. We saw the unnecessary roughness. And again, another play goes against the Golden Eagles. And you got to get them out of your head. You've just got to play disciplined football.
Mask.
It is a face mask, actually. So, again, these penalties just piling up. And that's going to continue to hurt Shelbyville Central. Got to play disciplined football.
Manning there was trying to find Ellis.
Yeah, and so far, in terms of the Hendersonville offense, they haven't had a lot of success, but they keep getting yardage thanks to the Shelbyville Central defense. But if you're the Hendersonville offense, you've got to play more efficient overall. Got to find ways to get separation and get yardage. And They've struggled with that so far in this one, although they have started to get into a rhythm, and as this game goes forward and they get farther down the field, that could help them as well.
Basically being gifted first downs now from Hendersonville. Now, can they take advantage? Baker's back in the backfield. Manning drops back, and it's going to be sacked. From the right edge, left edge, it didn't matter. Shelbyville Central was coming, and they got the sack.
Absolutely. Those guys up front have a rocket launch speed, and they just came out of nowhere to sack the quarterback once again. Shelbyville Central has a very, very pressured defense. They continually target the football and try to rock whoever's got it. And those body blows, man, they're just going to continue to have an effect on these Hendersonville players. Could wear them down. Shelbyville Central is just getting after it right now on defense.
And that was Will Gallimore on the sack. Brings up a second and about 13. Hands it off to Baker. And Baker gets to the outside. Cuts back into the end zone. Walks in. Hendersonville 6.
Torrin Baker with a shifty maneuvering right there. Puts himself in the end zone. And the commandos strike first. What a play by Baker. Again, that vision, that speed, the cutback ability. That's what you look for in a running back. Torrin Baker, a versatile guy. He can do it all. And he just did it right there.
Great blocking and great vision there from Baker to get into the end zone, find his way, as now it looks like we have we don't have his number, sorry, excuse us. But anyways, the extra point is going to be good. Hendersonville 7, Shelbyville Central 0.
Absolutely. Hendersonville struck first right there. And again, those self-penalties by Shelbyville Central really cost them on that drive. 2 red zone opportunities, and they have not been able to capitalize. Hendersonville scores first.
And now we are going to head to another short break, and you are watching MTN Sports Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh! I'm going to that game.
As we are back, and it looks like we have number 2, Cameron Grogren, back to receive. Grogan falls on it at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be a first down from there with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in this first quarter. And something we talked about pregame was Shelbyville Central being able to get down to the red zone, but unable to score. They've been to the red zone twice this game. They have scored 0 times.
Absolutely, and I said that they might need to mix up the formations, and they've had some unique formations in this drive in this game, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. You got to make sure to take advantage of the situations. Got to play efficient offense. Let's see if they do that here.
Cunningham keeps it up the middle, and he is brought down for a gain of about 2. Hendersonville sniffed that one out.
Yes, they did, and Cunningham tried to go up the middle that time with the run play. Again, kind of that option-style offense, but Hendersonville's been pretty good whenever it's been Cunningham carrying the football tonight. Seem to have a really good defense with that sort of situation. Shelbyville Central might have to have something else up their sleeve here.
Again, Cunningham in the shotgun with Young behind him. Does the man in motion, steps out of bounds after he shook off the tackle there from Steven Mack.
He did step out of bounds that time, and again, Shelbyville trying, like I said, maybe they need something else up their sleeve. Well, there you go, the play fake to the outside, going to try to attack the perimeter with the run game. It's almost like that West Coast offense we sometimes saw with the 80s 49ers, kind of what we're seeing there. Sometimes you pass, set up the run. That's what they just did right at that point.
And the pass there was to Will Gallimore. It brings up a 3rd and short. Expect a run. And it is a run. And he is stuffed. It's going to be 4th down. And there is no penalty.
And again, an altercation between Hendersonville that time. And that shows sometimes the players kind of have to get onto themselves, because sometimes you want to keep from making those boneheaded plays. And almost a penalty that time. And again, the physicality and the emotions playing a huge part early. Just got to make sure you can control them.
Again, I think that is a good no call. They were just finishing off the tackle. But here comes 4th and about 1.
Now this is a big one for Hendersonville. Do you punt it away? Looks like they're going to. This is one of those situations where you sometimes see them go for it. Would not be surprised if we saw a fake, but, well, it looks like they're calling over the punter right now, but they might be winding it down towards the end of the first quarter, and I believe that is what they're going to do.
Yes.
So that'll take us to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, so there is 3-2-1 at the end of the first quarter here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We have one of the craziest games we've seen all year. Hendersonville 7, Shelbyville Central 0, and we're going to be right back with the MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middleton.
Welcome back to the second quarter as it's 4th and 1. Cunningham hands it off to Young. Young splits the gap, and he has the first down. Moves the chains. First down, Golden Eagles.
What a huge play by the Golden Eagles that time. Going into the end of the first quarter, they showed punt formation. We all thought that they were going to end up punting it away, but sometimes time changes your mind, and that's what we saw there. Shelbyville Central, thinking better of it, decides to go for it, take the risk, and sometimes it's those risky plays that you got to take there to try to keep the chains moving forward. Good coaches know when a critical point in the game is.
Tries the hard count, almost gets Hendersonville to jump, does not.
Taking a play out of the Aaron Rodgers playbook right there. Let's see what they can do with it.
Cunningham, he fires it deep. He has a man, but he cannot get to it as Central Golden Eagles wanted the flag again, as that was looking for, Gavin Donegan again.
Yeah, Donegan was there deep, and the ball was floated out there in decent position, but just kind of way off of where the receiver was at that point. The deep ball is going to be huge as this game progresses forward. We see Cunningham take a risk there, but accuracy with the deep ball is huge. Going to have to see more accurate passes, but I do like the idea of taking shots down the field. Could be critical in making up the difference.
Again, 2nd and 10. They almost connected last play. Do they try it again? Back in the pocket, he steps up, and he's got some room to the left side. Gets the first down and then some. Down to about the 43-yard line.
How about Cunningham saying, oh, I'm just going to step up and run down the field. He saw the opening, and that's what great quarterbacks do that are mobile. They use their legs and they make plays. Hey, if you don't see anything down the field, tuck it and run. Make it go. Make it happen for your team, and that's exactly what Cade Cunningham did right there. Shows how great and how aware of a quarterback he really is.
Again, just move the chains. That's what they've been good at so far this game. Just haven't been able to put one in just yet. Is this the drive that they do?
I think that they're definitely off to a good start. They're establishing that rhythm, and they're starting to play consistent football.
Hands it off to Young. Young gets to the outside for a gain of about 5. Good first down gain.
Young then going back to the outside, and again, that's just another good rhythm play right there. Taking and attacking the perimeter. We saw them kind of go head first early with the run game. Now they're starting to mix it up, starting to attack the perimeter, and that shows that the playbook is opening up. And I expect we're going to see more of that as this game goes forward. Shelbyville Central starting to employ some unique tactics, and it seems like it's working.
It definitely looks like it is because they're moving the ball right now with ease after that 4th down conversion.
Absolutely.
Cunningham drops back, fires, has a man, and it is caught! Is that Gavin Donegan? Yes, it is! Touchdown, Central.
Gavin Donegan just absolutely came up clutch. He mossed the defender, and what a throw from Cunningham, unloading his cannon and finding him in the end zone. I said earlier that the deep shot would be important, but they had to be more accurate, and they absolutely did that. And well, actually looks like, yep, and it is going to be a touchdown. So, and we're going to see, I believe, the 2-point conversion here now.
I think that they were going to call a pass interference call, but of course you're going to decline it. You'd rather take 6 in the yards there.
Absolutely, you have to take 6 in the yards, no question about that. And now we're going to see a 2-point conversion. Looks like, nope, it is going to be the extra point. Showed it for a second. Probably smart right here, tie the game up. And now Shelbyville Central has all of momentum back in their favor.
Last kick was blocked. Bad snap right the middle. It's blocked again. As the ball, the second block of the night for this Hendersonville defense, special teams unit, right up the middle that time.
How about this special teams unit? They are absolutely hounding the ball right now and having their way with the Shelbyville Central special teams, and they blocked yet another kick. They are doing some great things, and they continue to make an impact. You know, I think sometimes people forget about special teams. They always talk offense, defense. Well, special teams is playing a huge role and changing the course of this game right now.
It definitely is. And so Coach Dryden right now is the acting head coach of Shelbyville Central. What do you think his tactics have been so far this game that has been working?
Well, I think right now what we're seeing is he's really taking risk and starting to change up those formations. We've seen him be willing to take the deep shot, and I said that was going to be important. Cunningham, of course, unloaded right there, found his man in the end zone. And again, they're going to have to continue to mix up those plays and keep it fast tempo, up pace. That's been huge for them so far. They've disoriented this Hendersonville defense, and you got to give all credit where it's due right now to these Golden Eagles and their coach.
As there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Hendersonville, and the Eagles are kicking from the 45-yard line of Hendersonville.
Boy, another unsportsmanlike conduct. They just continue to pile up here. And again, I talked about emotions earlier on, but again, they just continue to be a huge factor. As a player, sometimes you got to let them go, but you feel like you're in a situation where you got to say something, got to do something. But right now, it is changing the game, impacting the game, and that's no small thing. Sometimes plays earlier on in the game have an impact later on, so keep an eye on that.
As there looks like some confusion right now between the officials. They are talking it out. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. While this confusion, we will go, again, like to thank you for watching this on MTN Sports on our YouTube channel tonight. And that's going to be a touchback. But again, our YouTube channel is where we have the Blue Raider Extra Point, where we have the high school football game of the week. So if you're here, go ahead and subscribe. Great content comes out every Saturday morning, every Friday night. Again, thank you guys for watching.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a diverse portfolio and a YouTube channel, you've got it here with MTN Sports. Like we said, Blue Raider Extra Point, these games, and so many other great facets of sports around MTSU and other parts of the middle of the state. It is your go-to location when it comes to all things MTSU sports and Middle Tennessee sports.
Hendersonville's offense comes back on the field, and the ball is fumbled again, but he's caught, and he gets through the hole and gets about 3 yards there. That is number 10, Ellis.
Ellis doing it again, and like I said before, versatile player. They've been trying to utilize him on the outside, but he has been running into a brick wall so far that's named the Shelbyville Central defense. Right now hasn't been able to decipher the Rubik's Cube of the defense. So now if you're Hendersonville, got to switch things up, got to reorganize, and adapting to the game is so important. You got to adapt to what you're seeing on defense. The same things will not work, as Albert Einstein once said. So let's see what Hendersonville has in store.
As the other side to Baker, and Baker has no room to run. Gain of 0 back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 7 from about the 25-yard line.
Momentum can be a huge thing. It looks like we've got an injury here and might be Baker.
Looks like we do. As Baker is able to get off under his own power. We always love to see that, especially at the high school level. Always hate to see injuries.
Yeah, Torrin Baker, such a great player, so versatile, and such unique ability, something you don't see. Already has scored a touchdown. Hopefully he's okay. Our wishes and best thoughts with him.
Well, 9:42 here to go in the second quarter in Shelbyville, Tennessee, where Shelbyville Central again is taking on the Commandos. If you're just tuning in, you missed a wacky first quarter.
Talk about wacky. I mean, just some of the most insane things that you've never seen. You thought Thursday Night Football was wacky last night. Well, take a look until you see this first quarter. It was absolutely crazy. So many wild things. Shelbyville Central with multiple times in the red zone, unable to capitalize. A wild muffed punt, and that's honestly, being
understatement.
Yeah, an understatement to it. So if we get more of that, we're in for an exciting game, let me tell you.
As the handoff is to the outside, and he hurdle jumps back in this close to the first down, as that looks like that was number 10, Ellis again. It's going to depend on the spot, and it is going to be 4th and 1.
So close for Ellis, but what an athletic ability. Hey, if you can't get it on the ground, maybe take it to the sky. Go aerial on him. And that's exactly what he did right there, using his athletic ability once again, but just short of a first down. Hendersonville, are they going to go for a 4th and 1? Why not? Why not take the risk and see if you can get it? It worked earlier for Shelbyville Central, and now Hendersonville going to be bold with it as well. Big guys out the middle, and here we go, QB sneak.
And he got it. Right there, Manning lowered his head, fell forward, got the first down after that great push from the Hendersonville offensive line.
That's just grinding it. That's just grinding it in there, doing what you can to get the first down. It's not the prettiest play, but it gets the job done, and that's exactly what we saw that time from Luke Manning. And again, it's for Hendersonville right now. It's just about continuing to move the chains, make the plays. You don't have to score in one play. You can just grind out this drive and make it coherent. And if they continue to do that, they are really going to wind down both this defense and this crowd.
Hand off to Mack. Mack gets to the outside, finds no hole. Spins forward, though, for a gain of about 4. Good first down gain.
It was a good first down gain, and that was a lot better than had any right to be. We saw him run right into a wall of Shelbyville Central, but the spin move, once again, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to have that little extra effort. That can be the key difference between a 2-yard gain and a 6-yard gain, and we saw it be huge for Hendersonville. Now, instead of 2nd and long, you've got 2nd and manageable.
Manning going back under center for one of the few times we've seen tonight. And it is handed back off to Mack. Mack gets to the outside, cuts back, falls forward up to the Shelbyville Central 48-yard line.
Well, Mack just rumbling his way down there, as we do have a flag on the field. Laundry is here, so let's see what's coming out of the washing machine.
And it's going to be a holding.
And a tough break for Hendersonville there. Good play. What a great run that time as well from Mack, but now it's going to come back. But if you're Hendersonville, you just got to put it in the past and play at the present.
Again, that is a spot foul. So they will have the ball at the 27 of the at their own 27. 2nd and about 13.
So again, if you're Hendersonville, not the end of the world right there. Even though it's 2nd down, it's 2nd and long, but it could have been worse. You still have an opportunity here, 2 downs to make something happen. We're going to see if they can do that right here.
Hand off to Ellis. Ellis gets to the outside, throws a man, but gains only about 5. Brings up 3rd and long.
3rd and long, and now if you're Hendersonville, you've got a good rhythm going on offense, but this is probably the toughest situation you faced on this drive. And it's in these key moments where playmakers have got to step up. We'll see probably somebody like Ellis or maybe even the quarterback Manning. They're going to have to make a play and really come through for their team right here if they want to really turn the tide of this one and really start to come back into it.
This first half has flown by. Action-packed first quarter. Both scores have come early here in the second. And there's going to be a false start.
Boy, that's a critical penalty that time for Hendersonville. You're in a decent enough position, but now a harder situation just got even worse. And now if you're Hendersonville, suddenly the original play you probably just have to throw it out. You got to reorganize. But it's that ability to adapt on the fly that separates good teams from great teams. And if you're Hendersonville, now you got to adapt. You got to make a play that can really rock the Shelbyville Central defense.
Hendersonville had 8 penalties last week.
Disciplined football, it is absolutely huge. And we've seen that on display time and time again in this game.
And it is a free rusher, and he gets it off to, rolls forward for a first down.
Looks like that was Mack right there in the middle of the field as they tried to make something happen, but at the end of the day, Hendersonville just unable to get the first down. But I like the setup. They really brought the house that time and did what they could, but sometimes you just can't pick up that first down.
As right there, it was a dump off to Steven Mack.
Here comes the punt.
And that ball took a Hendersonville bounce and will rest at about the 22-yard line of Shelbyville Central. And that is where the Golden Eagles will take over.
What a good bounce that was that time. You know, sometimes we don't talk about punters as much, but punters are people too. They make plays, and we saw it right then. That is now going to flip the field for Shelbyville Central. Field position is so huge in a football game, and especially in a game that's been kind of low scoring so far, that could be absolutely huge. Field position going to be huge, and that punter that time did a great thing for Shelbyville Central and Hendersonville.
Don't forget, Hendersonville, without Hendersonville's punter, this game is around 8-0.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even the smallest things and things you wouldn't expect make a huge difference.
Handoff up the middle, and he is met at the line by Landon Barden there.
Landon Barden, he just sniffed that one out right from the get-go. It's the vision of a player on defense sometimes that can really help your team out. Sometimes all it takes is one player. You got 11 guys on defense, but sometimes you need that one guy to find the open space. He kept track of the ball. He knew where it was. Great awareness on defense, and it's going to be more of those plays that are going to help Hendersonville.
He met Crenshaw in the hole right there, and Barden won. Gain of almost 0.
Just a war of attrition taking place right now, especially in the trenches.
Cunningham fires it deep, and that is going to be pass interference.
Yeah, not much of a question that time. Clearly PI on that call, and as a defensive player, sometimes that's what you want to do. You don't want to risk the deep pass and what could transpire. In a way, that was a smart penalty, but tough situation for Hendersonville. It's kind of a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
They are going to call that a holding, and that was Steven Mack trying to cover Cameron Grogren there.
And now we're going to see Shelbyville Central prime position. They just continue to march downfield, and they are really emphasizing the deep ball, as looks like we are going to see a first down here. And now let's see if Shelbyville Central can capitalize.
Young back in the game in the backfield for the Eagles.
Kind of slowing the tempo down right here. We saw him go more up-tempo earlier, but now time to reorganize. It's good to mix it up there, get your plays in order, get your system in order as well.
As Cunningham, he just keeps it. Oh, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. He did a spin move, and he was right in the face of 61 Donnell Brown, and Brown dug him to the ground for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Cunningham is getting decked inside right now with all these hits he's taking. He is showing some real toughness. Been so impressed with how he's been able to handle that. Some QBs, it could get in their mentality. Maybe they wouldn't be as apt to take those hits, but Cunningham is a warrior, a trooper right now. He is not going to let that phase him.
We'll be calling those names shortly.
Saw another one of those hard counts there from Cunningham. And the ball's out. And it looks like who has it? As Young does end up coming up with it. That was almost worst case scenario for the Golden Eagles.
That was almost a disaster that time, but Laquan Young, Johnny on the spot, found the football, and thankfully for Shelbyville Central, kept it in their hands. That could have been a huge momentum shift, a paradigm shift, if you will. But now Shelbyville Central faces third down, and although it could be, it is a tough position, it could have been a whole lot worse.
It definitely could. So it brings up 3rd and about 8 here. As it looks like that was Donegan in motion, and there's a penalty flag. False start.
False start on the Eagles.
False start on Shelbyville Central. So, you know, we talked about how the crowd can get into it. Well, that was a situation more of kind of just being disorganized for Shelbyville Central. And we've seen false starts from both Hendersonville and the Golden Eagles tonight. So it really does show that those plays are happening on both sides. And again, I think it's really going to be, especially in the second half, who can play football more mistake-free, who can avoid those costly mistakes that are going to affect the game.
As here comes, and it's thrown up, and it looks like he's looking for a flag.
Yeah, it looks like he was looking for a flag there. Almost looked like a bit of a miscommunication as the ball kind of just floated up there for a while. And now we're going to see, looks like the punt team is heading back out on the field.
Could not see the intended receiver. Maybe it looks like it was Donegan.
I believe so. Donegan, who already has a touchdown in this game, going to his main man once again was Cunningham, but cannot find him every time. So now it's time for the punt team to come out and deliver.
2 men back for Hendersonville. It was almost blocked again by Warden. It took a Hendersonville bounce, and the Golden Eagles down it at midfield.
Boy, that was almost another big play by the special teams for Hendersonville. But still, even getting to the punter, applying that pressure, that can get into a punter or a kicker or whoever it is head. It can be huge for the opposing team. So Hendersonville special teams, in my opinion, has been the X factor in this game. And again, it could be a tie game. It could be a completely different game if Hendersonville had not done what they've done. There have been at least 3 or 4 points that have been kept off the board thanks to that special team. So they deserve a lot, and I mean a lot, of the big support tonight.
They definitely do, as we see Manning bring back out the offense, and it's going to be another false start.
And the laundry just continues to pile up in the crate right now. A false start that time for Hendersonville. And again, we saw that last possession with Shelbyville Central. So really at this point, it's continuing to play organized, play to the system. So you got to avoid those mistakes. And now with first down, it becomes 1st and 15. So you got to try to avoid making the situation worse. Just take what you got and make a play and do what you need to do.
3:58 here to go in this first half. And again, he hands it off, and he is met as he actually loses that first tackler, falls forward for about 4. As that looks like that is Mack. Mack is having himself a night so far.
Mack is shifty right there and a little bit slippery. We thought he was wrapped up in the backfield, but he's got that escapability, that maneuvering that can get him some more yardage. And even without Torrin Baker, we're really seeing the running game for Hendersonville continue to have positive gains. And again, you want to have both good run and good pass. And if you're Hendersonville right now, the fact that you've got a balance of both is really going to help you.
As in this formation, again, hands it back off down. So that ball's out. And who has the ball? And it looks like it's going to be the Golden Eagles ball. Another turnover. Golden Eagles take over at the Commandos' 48-yard line. Nobody can hold on to the ball this first half.
Absolutely. It looks like we're playing a game of hot potato right now as the ball just continues to get fumbled. But the Golden Eagles defense flew to that ball, found it, and now what a huge momentum shift as Shelbyville Central's got prime position. But again, you got to avoid that mistake-free football. And again, we saw a fumble that could absolutely turn the tide of this one, make it a full-blown tsunami.
As now Cunningham leads back out the offense. As he hands it off up the middle to Young, and Young gains about 1 on the play.
Yeah, solid gain right there as he went up the middle, just trying to make something happen for his team. Not much doing, though. Again, Hendersonville, we saw their defensive line have some success early in the game with those plays. They've really done a good job of stuffing the run up the middle, kind of reminiscent of the Bucs defense for Tampa Bay. Kind of a similar style, just kind of stuffing the run. So if you're Shelbyville Central now, you might want to try attacking the perimeter, going to the air. We've seen the deep shots work out well for them so far, and now they're going to check the playbook and see what else they can pull out of the hat.
Again, 2nd and 8 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Tosses out to Young, and Young gets tackled at about the 50. A loss of 4 on the play brings up 3rd down and 12.
And boy, that is a testament to the resiliency of this defense for Hendersonville. Even despite the turnover last time, losing the football, now they've got an opportunity here once again, continuing to make plays. And even though their offense may be making mistakes, they are not going to let that affect them. Really shows the mental toughness of this Commandos defense.
Definitely, as it brings up 3rd and about 12.
And now Shelbyville, 3rd and long situation, going to be absolutely critical. Could be the critical point of this first half. We'll see what happens.
And he pitches it in front of him to Kendall Trice, and Hendersonville was not going to fall for it.
No, they were absolutely not fooled right there. Again, the big guys up front absolutely making an impact on this game. And, oh, looks like we got one of them down.
As during this injury timeout, we are going to head to break. You are watching MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh! I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to Shelbyville, Tennessee, as it is Robert Ross Mallory on the punt.
Oh, boy.
And he barely got that one away. And he didn't call a fair catch there. Mac just decided he was going to try and see what he can get.
Mac tried to make something out of nothing right there. And how about the punter that time? A one-handed Odell Beckham grab. That was the only thing saving that play from being another big play for the Hendersonville special teams unit. sometimes, again, the punters make a huge difference, and again, they continue to salvage something from nothing. That could have been a lot worse, and it's kind of an underrated play. Might not be looked at as much, but again, those plays are going to be absolutely crucial down the stretch.
Again, the punter on the play was Robert Ross Mallory. Saved maybe 6 points.
I would say, because again, you got the Hendersonville special teams hounding after that ball. They would have gotten to it, and I don't even know how we got the punt away, to be honest. Looks like we've got a potential timeout here.
Yes, we do, and it looks like it is going to be Shelbyville Central's second timeout. So again, Blue Raider Extra Point airs tomorrow morning at 10:30. Airs every Saturday morning, but tomorrow the focus is on the Liberty Flames as the Blue Raiders travel down to Liberty. You can also see coverage of Middle Tennessee sports such as tennis, and we feature spotlights, a feature story about a new MTE athlete each week. And again, this is streaming on MTN's YouTube channel, which streams Blue Raider Extra Point, High School Game of the Week every Friday, and during the spring semester, college MTSU tennis. Also, while you're here on social media, you can follow at MTN Sports on Instagram and at MTN Sports 1 on Twitter.
Absolutely, and that, again, Blue Raider Extra Point and all these things here at MTN Sports, so great. It's such a great organization to be a part of, and we cover a lot of great things. And if you want to get interested, especially if you're in college or maybe getting into it, MTN Sports is the place to go. A lot of great opportunities here and a lot of great people to meet as well.
Definitely, as Manning faces out back in the pocket. He throws it, and it is caught. Solid. Ellis cuts back to the middle of the field, and he is dragged down to the 48-yard line. Big play there, and now all of a sudden, you don't have to run the clock out. 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in the first half.
Absolutely, and we saw, again, that play, again, almost got blown up. We saw Shelbyville Central coming off the edge rushing the quarterback, Manning, but he somehow got that ball out and delivered an accurate pass to his main man, Ellis, again, making plays and doing things for his offense, and looks like we're going to have another stoppage of play, potentially another timeout.
No, that is going to be a new spot.
Ah, there you go, new spot on the play, okay.
Instead of the 47, they're moving up to the 48-yard line. Manning back in the pocket again. He fires to the outside, and he gets – it's going to depend on the spot if they get the first down or not, and he does not.
Yeah, looks like his knee went down right before he got to the first down marker. Not enough to move the chains, but still a solid gain that time for Mack. He has really been an everyman in this game, making plays in both the receiving and running game. He's going to be a big, big X factor for Hendersonville as this game goes forward.
As Manning takes the snap, and he fires it over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete, intended for number 1, Jamison Wharton.
Looks like it, and look at the clock as well, 27 seconds to go. You're at about midfield, so you want to have an opportunity to get some points out of this drive. Maybe if you can't get a touchdown, at least try to get into field goal range. But again, with this Shelbyville Central Golden Eagle defense, that could be a lot to ask. So Hendersonville, it's now time to make the kind of play that you're going to need inside. Got to make those clutch plays, those game-deciding plays that are going to get you some points.
32 seconds to go in the first half, and the run up the middle is good for a first down, carried on the play by number 32.
Clock's still winding. No timeouts have been used as now looks like the clock's been stopped.
As that was Noah Carmian on the carry.
24 seconds to go, and again, the clock stops to move the chains, so here we go, Hendersonville once again.
23 seconds, clock is running. Manning, he rolls out, and he gets sacked, and the ball's down, and they're going to say it's a fumble. It's a fumble rumble. 53 runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Shelbyville Central. Less than 10 seconds to go in the first half. That is a momentum-shifting play.
Oh my goodness, Shelbyville Central coming up with the play of the game as the scoop and score has been employed. And what a disastrous play for Manning. Was trying to get the ball out, could not take a sack, but he might have just done something much worse. But this Shelbyville Central defense just absolutely turned this game upside down. And now we've got an entirely new look going into the locker room.
Amir Ross picked it up and ran it in with 8 seconds to go, and there is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on someone.
Boy, again, and maybe the frustration of Hendersonville now coming out. They were going to have the lead going into the locker room and potentially an even bigger lead. And now a game that they looked like they had in hand, they're now down in. And especially with the success they've had on the road, this could be very frustrating for the players. And what a huge play that was. And now everything has changed, Zachary.
And it definitely has, as now instead of going down at the half with a score of 7-6, it is going to be at least 12-7. Shelbyville Central, big time play there.
Well, it looks like there's been fumbleitis being caught by a lot of players on the field as the call is made now.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Hendersonville. That may be on the kickoff. They may enforce that on the kickoff.
Could very well do that, and that might be, especially with the time we have left, what they decide to do to prevent a return. But like I said before, fumbleitis really has been caught by a lot of these players as the ball just continues to be fumbled as we now have a timeout. But those fumbles and these turnovers have been huge. The turnover margin can decide a game. As a player, you want to hold on to the football. So far, these teams haven't been able to do that as well, but especially it has come back to bite the Commandos.
It definitely has, but again, the Commandos get the ball to start the second half. They could have ran the clock out and gone to halftime, but instead on 3rd and 1, they took Manning back in the pocket. Manning, while getting sacked, fumbles the ball. Amir Ross picks it up and runs 48 yards and turns this game on its head.
Absolutely. Hendersonville tried to bite off more yardage, and they got burned as a result. Sometimes when you play with fire, you get burned, and that is what happened that time with the Commandos. But And that can be a huge play, especially mentally, going into the locker room, thinking you've got this game under control. Now all of a sudden, everything's different. Everything's changed. That can be incredibly deprecating to a player, can really get into their mindset. So if you're Hendersonville, you've got to show some mental fortitude, some mental toughness right now. Don't let that play continue to control the destiny of this game. You got to shake it off and realize it's a 48-minute game. There's still 24 minutes to go here after this first half is over. A lot of game left to be played, but this one is an absolutely, like you said, a huge momentum shift.
And now Shelbyville Central is going to go for 2 to make it a 7-point game.
I like the idea of a 2-point conversion here. Gets you a full touchdown ahead as
there's going to be a timeout on the field.
Looks that way.
There's going to be an official timeout. And no, they are going to move it half the distance to the goal. So it's going to be first down. That's first down. Excuse me. The 2-point conversion, instead of being at the 3-yard line, it will be from the 1.5-yard line.
Sometimes we see some trickery used or some strange formations on 2-point conversions, and there's the motion play. Let's see what they got in mind.
Cunningham's going to run right up the middle. There's going to be a flag, but he walks in. But what is the flag?
This can sometimes go one of two ways. Looks like it's coming back. False start.
Formation.
Or legal formation 1. But either way, Shelbyville Central's 2-point conversion is now off the board. And points have been left off the board in a lot of ways during this half, whether it be special teams, missing shots, not taking advantage of opportunities. Points left off the board, that can really, really affect a game. You want to maximize every opportunity that you can get as a player and a team. And now a potential easy 2-point conversion has dramatically changed, and now a timeout taken by Shelbyville Central.
Timeout taken by Shelbyville Central as the scoreboard had Shelbyville Central having no timeouts remaining.
The interesting thing there, yeah, it looked like there weren't any timeouts at the moment. Perhaps something miscalculated on the scoreboard. Of course, hard to say exactly how many timeouts they've taken to go back in time. We don't have a time machine, and we can't tell you, but the scoreboard did show no timeouts. So interesting to see that this has developed, but could be a crucial thing. No small thing here.
So the 2-point conversion here after the fumble rumble score from the big man Amir Ross, trying to make it a 7-point game from the 7-yard line.
And that play was a defensive lineman's dream right there. Happy for Amir Ross. Those guys only get maybe 2 or 3 chances to score their entire high school career. Awesome to see him rumble into the end zone, take it in.
Lined up at left tackle right now. Takes the handoff, and it's dropped by Cameron Grogren.
Again, that's just another one of those mental errors. He saw the end zone. He saw it. He saw the light at the end of the tunnel. He's like, oh, I'm going to be there, and just dropped the football. But again, if you're Shelbyville Central, still in good position, 12-7 lead. And what an incredible turn of events. I hope all of you all have been able to catch your breath because it's been hard for us here in the booth.
That is for sure. After that first quarter, we didn't think anything could top it. And then time running down second quarter. 48-yard fumble return touchdown. Amir Ross, Shelbyville Central looks like, for the moment, the way this game's going, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. For the moment, going to be taking a 5-point lead into half.
And you know, Shelbyville Central comes in with a 2-4 record, but to be honest, that's not really reflective of how talented they are. This is a talented group of teams. Just haven't been able to put together a full 48-minute performance yet. But tonight they could be well on their way. They're playing the kind of football you need to take down a team like Hendersonville, who again is ranked 15th in certain state rankings. So this is no small feat here for Shelbyville Central. They have played an impressive 24 minutes, and now here comes the kickoff. Got to make sure you want to avoid a Stanford band kind of play right here.
That's true. Before the game, Coach Dryden talked about them being the third toughest schedule in the whole state, and how their region games are actually not as tough as their non-region games, as is evidenced tonight as the kick is away. As that was a squib kick, and that's going to roll to the back of the end zone. We're going to have 8 seconds from about the 25-yard line.
Looks like it. Likely we're just going to see the Commandos kneel this ball down, take it into the locker room. They probably want to avoid any more risky plays and many more disastrous plays like we saw in the last possession with the scoop and score by Amir Ross. So probably going to see a kneel down here, take it to the locker room, take what you can learn from this half. Yes, there were mistakes made. Yes, you're down, but you're only down 5 despite all that. Still a lot of football left to be played. Hendersonville just has to keep their heads up right now.
And they are lining up under center. Manning still at quarterback, takes a knee, and we are going to head into halftime with a score of Shelbyville Central 12, Hendersonville Commandos 7. So Dylan, what have you seen from this first half from this Hendersonville Commandos team?
Well, Hendersonville has been very balanced on offense. They've used the running game, and they've used a lot of different formations. We've seen Manning take shots down the field and make plays, but they haven't been really able to get that explosive play that can turn the tide. And as for Shelbyville Central, it's been huge game-changing X-Factor plays from places that you wouldn't expect. The scoop and score by Amir Ross at that point, and we've also seen them take deep shots. We saw Cunningham with that beautiful pass earlier, a deep shot to the end zone. It's going to take more plays like that and more deep shots, more balanced on offense, to really continue to hold the strategy of this game. But right now, Shelbyville Central is playing with a full deck, and they are looking good, up 12-7 on Hendersonville.
In Hendersonville's only touchdown drive, they had 45 yards worth of unsportsmanlike conduct. Other than that, how do you think this Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles defense has played?
They have played inspired, and they have played with confidence. They have not been fazed by this Hendersonville offense, which has so many weapons, and I thought could be a big problem for them, but they have shown they are absolutely up to the task.
So after that first half, crazy first half, we have Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles leading the Hendersonville Commandos 12-7. This is the MTN Sports Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
So many men and women that have served that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the general fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week, where the number 9 team in 6A trails the Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles by a score of 12-7, and Ben Betzelberger is going to get us underway in the second half. And Warden catches it, and he's going to reverse field, and this is going to come back, but Warden comes in between two tacklers, and he is to the 45, to the 50, and he's going to be taken down at the 43, but I think this is going to come all the way back for a block in the back.
What a great play that time on the return, but it's a shame all for naught. But you saw the athletic play and the maneuverability, and he might have even known there was a flag. Hard to say for sure, but the fact that he was able to keep going and keep making plays, shame it's going to be brought all back, but that could be a good sign for Hendersonville. The fact that they're still making plays shows that maybe the first half hasn't rattled their cage too much.
Yes, and again, that first half was something.
Oh my goodness, some of the craziest things you'll ever see on a football field took place in the first half. You didn't know what was going to happen next, and that unpredictability, that craziness, that's what you love about football, and especially high school football. Friday Night Lights here in Shelbyville Central, it does not get much better.
It definitely does not. Crazy first half. Hendersonville has fumbled the ball 4 times already.
Yeah, fumbles were a huge problem in the first half. Got to make sure to control the turnover output here in the second.
And it's handed off to Ellis. And Ellis gets about 3 on the gain, brings up 2nd and 7, 2nd and 9.
Yes, once again, you see Hendersonville trying to get the wide receiver, Ellis, the shifty playmaker, into position, giving them these handoffs. We've seen a lot of these wide receiver sweeps throughout the game. Now they're trying to do it again here. But Shelbyville Central's been well-disciplined. They've been able to sniff it out. But there's other ways to get Ellis involved in the game, and I'm sure they've got something else up their sleeve here.
Some man in motion, hands off up the middle for a gain of about 1. And the handoff was to number... I couldn't see. I think that's number 32, Noah Kamian.
Looks like it, and again, a lot of these misdirection plays. That's kind of been what Hendersonville's been comfortable with so far. A lot of misdirections, wide receiver sweeps, handoffs up the middle that look like they're going to be sweeps. Hendersonville's really trying to misdirect the Shelbyville Central defense, and that trickery could be huge. It could be only a matter of time before a big play comes into position.
And his handoff to the outside. Can he get the whole Mac? Lowers his shoulder, falls down to about the 19. It's going to depend on the spot.
Great play that time by Mac. Let's see if he gets rewarded for it. And ball spot coming up shortly.
And they are going to give him a first down for the Commandos.
What a great play by Mac that time. Never giving up, even though he was in a crowd of people. It's that perseverance, that determination as a running back that's going to get you that extra yardage that you need. And what a great play. And again, this is without Torrin Baker, too. What a great job by this running game.
Hands off to Ellis, and Ellis keeps his feet before he is met by 5 Eagles defenders, but for a gain of about 1.
Again, trying to get Ellis into the game, but he got stonewalled once again right there. Shelbyville Central, obviously, and coming out of the locker room is a huge thing. A game can be flipped entirely on its head because you've got all that momentum, all that adrenaline coming in from the first half, but now everything's slowed down again. It's pretty much a 0-0 game. That can really change the flow and ebb of a game, and it could very well do that to this one.
Hands off to Ellis, and he has nowhere to go. Stopped in the backfield by number 15, Robert Ross Mallory.
Well, we wondered if Shelbyville Central's defense was going to continue to have that momentum. Well, I think they have emphatically answered that question. Getting after it right now, going for the ball, and trying to make sure that that ball carrier feels it when they tackle him. I love the physical nature of this defense. They are going to make sure that you feel it and you know what's coming when they are going after you on defense. Great to see.
It's definitely great to see as it brings up 3rd and 10. Hand up the middle. Manning pulls it out. He pitches it to the outside. That is Ellis who gets the first down.
What a unique pitch there. Kind of an improvisation play as Ellis was slow to get up, but now gets up good. That's good to see. But
triple option.
That was a triple option. That is something you don't see, but Hendersonville hasn't really used the option plays as much as Shelbyville Central has. So interesting to see them utilizing that there. Actually, almost looked like it was beyond the line of scrimmage, probably borderline, but a great play right there on the back toss lateral. So Great job that time by Hendersonville, and it's going to take those unique plays. It's going to take those plays to make sure that you can continue to have that momentum. Sometimes you got to improvise, and that's what Hendersonville just did.
It is handed off, and the Eagles' defense is there for a loss of 4.
Boy, did you see how they just converged that time on the ball carrier? They were going to make sure that that was not going to go anywhere. And again, another defensive play that gets into the backfield. Shelbyville Central has been getting great penetration, and penetration is something that shows that this defensive line is really getting to this offensive line, out-muscling them in many respects. And again, that goes back to those days of working out, putting the grind in, and that shows the extra effort that this defense has.
Again, carry on the play by number 44, Luke Gethier, Another one does that triple option, and Manning's going to keep it this time, lower his head, brings up 3rd and about 8.
For those at home, you're really starting to see how the play style has changed for Hendersonville. They were kind of trying a very similar outlook early in the game, but they're starting to switch it up now. Triple option plays, more misdirection. They have expanded their playbook, and it's starting to pay off. They're moving the ball with confidence and precision down the field. And right now, Shelbyville Central's caught a little bit on their feet. They're starting to get confused as to what's going to come next. Hendersonville has come out with the game plan, and they are executing it very well right now.
3rd and 8. Can Shelbyville Central get off the field? And Manning is getting chased to the outside, and he is going to be sacked. The pursuit on the play by number 15, Robert Ross Mallory.
Ross Mallory right there, again with the great pursuit. He tracked down Manning that time with intensity and speed, and that's what you love to see in a defender is that intensity and speed. Shows that you are not going to let this play get past you. Manning was doing everything he could that time to escape, but just was unable to as Ross Mallory now gets into position as 4th down's coming up.
And here comes the punt. And the punt is away. No one back for Shelbyville Central. And took a sideways bounce to about the 32-yard line, and that is where the Shelbyville Central offense will be led out by number 8, Cade Cunningham, for the second half.
Going back to that punt there, you saw nobody back. Sometimes that's a strategy that coaches use. Sometimes you don't want anybody back because you want to avoid a potential muff. You don't want to have any more turnovers. And we saw, Zachary, turnovers were such a huge thing in the first half that really turned the dynamic of this game. For those of you who are just tuning in, a huge scoop and score at the end of the first half gave Shelbyville Central this 12-7 advantage you see now.
And there was 8 seconds to go once Amir Ross walks into the end zone of the first half, changed the game, flipped it on its head. Hand off up the middle to Young, and Young gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Good job there of Hendersonville's defense standing up.
Absolutely, and looks like we've got a Shelbyville Central player down at the moment. Another injury. We've seen a few of these tonight, one especially to Torrin Baker and a few others, but hopefully he gets up okay.
And for this injury.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to Shelbyville, Tennessee, and thankful that Mason Smith was able to get off of the field with some help. That's great to see.
Absolutely, and he's been playing a great game, been playing as hard as that offensive lineman. Let's see if his absence makes an impact here.
As Cunningham rolls to the left side, and he fires it, and he is stuck at about the 35-yard line. The pass there was to Jake Preston.
Boy, Jake Preston, talk about getting stuck. Looked like he was in quicksand right there as, again, the Hendersonville defense just swarmed him like a hornet's nest. And, again, that shows that the defenses have really started to get into a rhythm here in this second half. We saw that they had issues as the ball was moved down the field with precision, but now these defenses are really starting to come into their own as this second half progresses forward. Going to be interesting to see if that remains the case.
It will be interesting, but now here we go. A big third down with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. A quarter that's gone by in a blink of an eye. Cunningham's back in the pocket. He fires it deep. There's a man there, and that is going to be pass interference and a first down going for Donegan.
Boy, there was a mosh pit of people down there as we saw Cunningham just air it out once again, unleash the cannon. And this time the ball almost hit his man. In fact, if there hadn't been that PI, it would have been. That's another one of those positions where you almost have to take a penalty because you want to avoid the big gain, but in the process, you still pick up yardage. So, again, it's kind of a tough situation where there's pros and cons, but either way, it's going to be a tough deal. But at the end of the day, that might be something you have to take.
Again, it looked like Donegan had his man beat. Ball was a little bit underthrown, but Shelbyville Central was able to come away with the first down off of penalty. Ball's going to be at the 50-yard line.
And again, it might be because we've just been so enthralled by this game, but there's only 5:11 left in the third quarter. Half the quarter's already gone. That shows that this game is moving at an incredibly quick tempo, and sometimes that can exhaust players, really put a strain on them. But you got to find that extra effort, that extra energy that can help you prevail as this game progresses forward, especially late in the game.
The game has taken about 14 real minutes, as there's going to be a timeout, Shelbyville Central. Now during this timeout, we are going to go to break. Again, you are watching the MTN Sports Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week as Cunningham gets a snap. And he looks like he's going to fire it deep. He's got a man. That's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Hendersonville Commandos. He is down the right side. Are we going to have a pick six? He's reversing field. Ellis to the 10. 5. Reverses field. Pick six. 70 yards.
Another defensive touchdown as Ellis just changed the game. What a play by Hendersonville, and the recognition to know where the pass was coming. It was underthrown by Cunningham, and Ellis, he's a receiver, but he's now throwing up the X like Des Bryant and making plays on defense for the Commandos.
13-12 now, as this is the second defensive score of the game. Won by Shelbyville Central at the end of the first half, and now the big pick six from the game changer, Ellis.
Absolutely, and he was a game changer, and again, the tone has shifted. What a paradigm shift. Momentum change after momentum change.
And the extra point is good. Hendersonville 14, Shelbyville Central 12.
And that failed two-point conversion by Shelbyville Central at the end of the half, the difference in this game right now, shows how little things can make a huge impact again.
And again, after that big touchdown from Hendersonville from the pick six, we are going to head to break. You are watching the MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back, everyone, to the MTN Sports Game of the Week on MTN Sports YouTube channel, where there is high school football on Fridays, and on Saturday mornings we have Blue Raider Extra Point. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 10:30 for the release of that. But now, our Game of the Week has been a great game.
Absolutely, and you know, sometimes the best offense is a great defense. Well, that has rung true here. 2 defensive scores, 1 by each team so far, the difference in this one.
As Donegan gets it to about the 25, and that's going to be another 15. Oh, there's no flag. Oh, there was a late hit there from the Hendersonville defender.
Yeah, there was a late hit on that one. Perhaps the amount in the crowd of people really caused something there for the referees being unable to see. Sometimes your vision gets impaired down on the field, so that could have been where that took place.
And it could be. 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Cunningham back on the field after that pick 6.
Let's see.
First play. Gonna hand it off to Young. And Young gets about 5 on the carry.
Yeah, about 5 that time for Laquan Young. Now let's see if Shelbyville Central, if they can respond. Now you're down 14-12, an unusual position. We thought that maybe they would have the momentum heading out of the locker room, but instead now they're the ones that find themselves down. Hendersonville was not swayed. They were able to respond, able to make a play. Now for Shelbyville Central, it's about doing that thing. Perhaps we're going to see a deep shot from Cunningham. Maybe they're going to get the wide receiver Donegan involved, or maybe there's something dialed up in the running game. Let's see what they've got from the phone book.
2nd and about 5. The whole playbook is open here ahead of the sticks. Grogan was the man in motion there. Hands it back off. No, he keeps it. And he has a hole. He's getting to the outside. Block up head by Donegan. And that's a 1st down carry there from Cunningham.
Woo, that was a beautiful play and a beautiful fake by Cunningham. Fooled the defense, fooled the announcer too. I thought for sure it was going to be run up the middle. But Cunningham was able to situate the ball in just the perfect position, and that's such an underutilized skill, and it shows that Cunningham has the essentials and the quintessential skills that you're going to need to make plays in this one, and it's those gritty runs, those plays that you make out of the hat like a magician that are going to be huge in this game.
And they have been huge. Again, 3:44 here left to go in the third quarter. This quarter has flown by. And it is a jet sweep to number 6. Kendall tries, gets about 8 yards. Great 1st down carry. Stayed ahead of the sticks.
Yeah, and another jet sweep right there, almost like a push pass. And we see this utilized a lot in the NFL and college football as well. And that's because it's a play that works. It gets you yardage. It's a misdirect, and you can get a lot of speed. That sort of that head start that you get. It's almost like with drag racing where one guy gets an advantage early, it gets you a head start. And it can really create a more speedy and a better play overall that gets you more yardage. So there's a reason why teams keep going back to that play so much.
And it works, and it works, as we've seen on this drive. Cunningham rolls out to the left side, and he's just going to fire it up and out as they're going to say no receiver in the area.
No receiver in the area, so, well, Cunningham's pleading his case right now. And again, he was in a tough position, but we could see grounding. And still discussion being had. But again, if you're Cunningham in that position, he was getting swarmed by defenders. I like the play he made. Just throw it out of bounds, live to fight another day. Some quarterbacks would try to force it in that situation. Cunningham did force it earlier with that pick six, but now here he goes, and he decides to make the smart play, and that shows development and growth in this game. And as a player, you want to continue to develop and grow and just get better, even with the mistakes.
Cunningham up the middle. He will not get it. It brings up a 4th and about 2.
Yeah, Cunningham again got swarmed on that play. Took a really big hit from the defense that really has just been hounding him all night, hounding the playmakers with the ball. This is a ball-first defense, and you can tell it with the way they play. They love to attack the offensive player and really rattle his cage, so to speak. And that has been something that has really affected the offensive productivity of Shelbyville Central. And now you face 4th down, so tough position if you were the Golden Eagles. What kind of thing do you do here? Well, you're gonna need something that's gonna fool the defense, get you that yardage. And if you're the Golden Eagles, it's go time.
It is go time indeed. 2:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 3, and they are going to go for it. He's going to hand off to Young, and he rolls, and he extends. I don't think he got it.
No, I do not think that Laquan Young made it. I looked like he was a yard short to me, and that is going to be the case. Looks like a turnover on downs.
Turnover on downs, Hendersonville ball inside Shelbyville Central territory with a chance to take control of this game.
Well, I got to say, the defenses have really took over this one, making key plays and keeping this game in a very, very unique position. And again, the defense comes up huge for Hendersonville. Like I said before, sometimes the best offense is a great defense, and now great field position for the Commandos.
Great field position indeed, right at the 50-yard line. Manning is back in the shotgun. Gonna hand off to Baker, and he's got nowhere to go. Thrown backwards after a loss of about 4. Shelbyville's defense was not fooled.
Yeah, absolutely, and Shelbyville's defense just swarmed after the ball that time. And again, Mack got rocked on the defensive side of the ball. And again, they continue to target the running backs. They've done a great job of stuffing the run in a lot of cases tonight. Mack has been doing well, and they've been having some success, but so far in the second half, the running game has been affected for Hendersonville. Shows that Shelbyville Central has adapted, and they're now focusing their efforts on the inside and the interior.
2nd and 14. And off right back up the middle, and he is not thick. He is stuffed in the backfield again. He's not going to get anything. Forward progress was marked before the ball was stripped. Is going to bring up 3rd and about 17.
Boy, he got absolutely leveled right there, did Mack. Took an absolute beating again. 4 defenders swarming after the ball. They are just going right for it. It shows that this defensive line is having their way with this offensive line. This is becoming a war of attrition, a war in the trenches. Who can get the better pressure? Who can get the other line back? That could very well be the difference in this second half and the difference in these possessions. And right now, Shelbyville Central's defense is having their way.
Both defenses have been spot on tonight. It's been a tell of the defenses, as you can tell by the 14-12 score. We are nearing 1 minute to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and 17 now, and if you're Hendersonville, this is going to be a tough position where you got to make a play, but what are you going to do with this sort of length?
And it's going to be brought back for a flag, but Ben Carmian gets, that was Jameson Warden. Warden gets about 6 on the play, but you have to assume that Shelbyville Central will decline this penalty.
Likely will, and you see with Hendersonville, and there's the flag, and it is declined. But Hendersonville decided to go with the safe play there, wanted to avoid another self-deprecating mistake like we saw earlier with a scoop and score. And sometimes you just got to play it safe. I know some people don't like the conservative play style, but sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to play not to lose, and while that might be controversial, might be something that others say isn't aggressive enough, you want to avoid mistakes. And in a game with a lot of mistakes like this one, sometimes you got to take the safe route.
Cameron Grogan back for Shelbyville Central to receive this punt. And it gets out just in time. Oh, this is going to be about a 21-yard, 22-yard punt.
And after that punt, Shelbyville will start this drive 1st and 10.
As it's going to be a 1st down for Shelbyville Central at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it was right then. And again, sometimes timing is everything with punts. Sometimes you got to have that perfect timing. And again, it really shows that the punter has to be aware. But even then, I think the pressure could have gotten to him just a little bit. And it ended up causing that punt to be a little bit more mistimed. Didn't get it as comfortable as he'd like. Sometimes timing is everything.
Now, can Cunningham and this Shelbyville Central offense get something going? 19 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and as this quarter goes down to the final minutes, this is going to be a huge play.
And off the middle, Young gets 3 as Hendersonville is ripping at the ball. 9 seconds to go, and this, after the gain of 3, will take us to the end of the third quarter. The score after 3, after 2 defensive touchdowns. The number 9 team in state, 6A Hendersonville Commandos 14, Shelbyville Central 12. We will be right back with the MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Game of the Week. Fourth quarter here, 12 minutes to go. Cunningham rolls out to his right. And he has a man. First down. Is that? Yes, that is Cameron Grogren.
Yes, it was. And talk about making a statement. You want to come out at the start of the quarter making a statement, putting emphasis on that. Well, they just did that right there. Cunningham, again, airing it out. He's got a lot of talent in that arm. Just showed it once again right there. He has been an absolute warrior tonight, the kind of player you want on the team, the kind of leader that shows by example just what he has, the intangibles he has to make plays. It's going to be those kinds of plays and that kind of attitude that's going to lead this team forward.
On the Hendersonville Commandos side of the field, 1st and 10, and it is handed off to the outside, and he has nowhere to go. That was number 21, Radon Crenshaw.
Yeah, Crenshaw trying the perimeter, but the run games just haven't been able to work too well on either side of the football here in the second half. The adjustments in the locker room as Crenshaw comes off a little bit slow. Hopefully he's okay, as now we're going to face a second down. But again, if you're Shelbyville Central, run game isn't worked as well. That kind of changes the way you approach the game. Now you're almost thinking pass first, but maybe a misdirection. You can still incorporate the running game, like I said earlier, maybe with like a West Coast offense style like you saw with Bill Walsh. Let's see what they decide to do here.
Cunningham takes a snap and then rolls out. No running this time. Fires it. Man, open, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the senior Kendall Trice.
Yeah, and that was a perfectly timed play by the defender that time. Again, like I said before, timing is everything. It was a catch originally, and it was going to be a big game, but he was able to come in, hit the player at the perfect time. That's something that it can be taught, but it has to be shown on the field as well. It's an intangible. It's a skill that is developed over time and comes naturally, and that's why he's on the field doing great things for Hendersonville. And now he has put Shelbyville Central in a tight box of 3rd down, and we'll see if they can find their way out of that box.
As Dylan just said, 3rd and 12. Shelbyville Central ball down by 2. Puts Young into motion. Keeper up the middle, and he's got nowhere to go. Hendersonville read it to perfection.
Yes, they did. They read that like a book as Cunningham tried to go up the middle that time. Hendersonville was not fooled. They have absolutely stunned the Shelbyville Central offense since coming out of the locker room, has held them to no points thus far. In fact, they've actually forced offense on themselves. And you know what, sometimes when your defense and your offense hasn't been doing what they need to do or hasn't been able to score points, sometimes you got to generate it yourself. And they have been able to do that. They have been the offense's biggest ally in many respects too. And that just shows that a whole game plan is coming together and the defense has picked up the slack.
The ball, it is muffed. He's going to get it out. Can he? Gets past one, and he cannot. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Hendersonville Commandos inside Golden Eagle territory.
Yeah, he looks like he tried to make a negative out of a positive right there. Wasn't quite what we saw in the Super Bowl long ago with the Washington football team and the Miami Dolphins with that play with Garo Yepremian, but that's a bit of a reference that you might not get. But regardless, he tried to do something there, and I admire the idea of trying to do something and make it something out of nothing, but at the end of the day, wasn't able to do that. And now for Hendersonville, in even better field position, that's the big thing to focus on. And another opportunity to score here, and with a touchdown and an extra point, it's a 9-point game. 2 possessions could put this one out of reach.
I formation. I think that's what it's called. There were 3 guys behind, lined up behind him right there. As the ball was handed off to, oh, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, an unnecessary shove that time from Shelbyville, and comes off shaking his head. Obviously, that's a mistake, and he's not happy about it. Still arguing his case with the referees, as here comes the call.
And that was Ben Camion, who was shoved at the end of the play.
Yeah, and again, it's like I said before in the first half, those self-defeating, those self-deprecating mistakes, they make such a huge impact in this one. And again, that just gives up free yardage. We saw in Hendersonville's lone offensive touchdown drive, that's what gave them the opportunity. 3 calls against the Golden Eagles gave them the opportunity. And again, we're seeing it happen in the second half. Could prove huge at the end of this game.
And again, a handoff up the middle to number 26, Steven Mack, for a gain of about 1 as, yeah, so there's 9:35 to go in this game. 2nd down. This is a big defensive possession for the Golden Eagles.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're seeing right now is ball control offense on perfect display here. Hendersonville is doing nothing but winding the clock. When you have a lead, especially in the 4th quarter, you want to keep it that way. You want to make sure that the other team does not get the ball back. It's an old strategy. It was used by a lot of coaches in the NFL, and we're seeing it used again. And there's a reason it works. It's because it continues to bleed the clock.
And Ellis had nowhere to go, stopped in the backfield by number 50 of the Shelbyville Central defense.
Well, ball control can work for a given time, but that time Shelbyville Central was Johnny on the spot, saw the play coming from a mile away, and now Hendersonville going to kind of backtrack. But again,
and that was an unsportsmanlike conduct on Hendersonville. Was it after the play?
Looks like it could have been, and that's going to be absolutely crucial because now if you're Hendersonville, you are in their territory, and look at all the yardage they have now lost, all the way back to the 45-yard line. Absolutely critical for Hendersonville.
So it was just a personal, it was a personal foul. So 3rd down and a mile.
Yeah, and this isn't a 1-mile fun run. This is a 3rd down, so you're going to have to do everything you can to pick this up, but Luke Manning is going to have to try and beat Peyton Manning on this play.
And that's going to be a false start, so it's going to be 3rd down from Hendersonville.
Boy, and another big mistake on false starts, and penalty flags have been so huge in this game. Not only the personal fouls, the false starts, the late hit out of bounds we've seen throughout this game. These penalties have just been a huge turning of the tide in this one, and when these coaches and players look back on the film, I'm sure the flags and the disciplined play style is something that they'll want to address.
Definitely, and the 1st down marker right now for Hendersonville is at the Shelbyville Central 20-yard line.
Yep, 3rd down and 30 is what it's showing on the scoreboard right now. So for all intents and purposes, they're probably just going to play this one safe and run this clock down a little bit further as it continues to tick down, currently inside of 8:10.
Hands off to Ellis, and Ellis has a hole. Can he get to that 1st down? He gains 20 yards, and he is still 10 yards away from the 1st down.
Yeah, on any other play pretty much, that would have been an incredible effort by Ellis to get the first down. The same guy who got the pick 6 earlier, and again, shows his versatility, playing both offense and defense. He has been, in my mind, one of the MVPs of the night, but unfortunately, due to those penalties, again, costly, making exchanges out of the bank with these penalties and costing them big time. They're going to have to pay huge interest as this game progresses forward.
That was a good one. I'll have to keep that one in my back pocket.
Appreciate it. Trying to make it have some fun stuff happen here.
4th and 10. And it's going to be pitched out to Ellis. Can they make an overfield tackle? He cannot. It's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be a first down. Ellis beats one man on the outside. Finally brought down.
Boy, Ellis once again, like a track star, just going down the left side of the field, finding an avenue, finding a way. He has been an absolutely dominant player tonight, making plays on all sides of the football. And again, he may have just made another crucial play to keep the drive alive. And he's starting to shut the door in Shelbyville Central as the crowd gets quieter and quieter.
8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Hands off right up the middle. A gain, and he is still going. Gain of about 5.
Well, the run game isn't doing much so far, but again, that just continues to bleed the clock down. Would make Bill Parcells proud to see this. You're just winding the clock down, making sure that opposing offense, which can score in a heartbeat. And that's the thing with Shelbyville Central. They score fast and they score quickly. And what Hendersonville's doing right now is they're trying to make sure that offense does not get back on the field. Or if they do, they're going to be left with as little time as possible. A masterclass on how to play offense, especially in the 4th quarter.
A masterclass is right, and Manning is teaching the masterclass right now as he hands it off to Ellis. Ellis brings it all the way down to about the 11-yard line. It is going to be 3rd and about 2.
Well, you know how some players sometimes get in the zone? That's where Ellis is right now. He is just making plays, finding open holes, and finding yardage. The vision, the acceleration, the intensity. Ellis has definitely separated himself tonight, and he's making a name for himself. Had 3 touchdowns last week, and he is making plays once again and being a huge X factor for his team once more. Gotta love what you're seeing from Ellis.
The 6'1" senior has had the only pick 6 of the game.
3rd down coming up now.
And that's going to be a false start on the the tight end.
Oh, that was critical too. It's 3rd and 3. They could have picked it up with a run, and now it's 3rd and 8, which you can still do the run, but honestly, you'd rather get the pass game here. But with how they've been moving the ball down the field, would not be surprised to see some sort of wide receiver sweep here. But Hendersonville, again, they've got the cards in their back pocket. Let's see what they do with it.
False start was on Logan Wizenot there. Brings up 3rd and 8 from the 16-yard line. Can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Back off to Ellis, and Ellis trips and falls. Brings up 4th and 9 from the 17. Clock is running.
Well, I know Ellis fell down there, but honestly it was probably a good thing because he was going to get decked either way. No way he was going to pick up that first down yardage, and there was the wide receiver sweep like we thought might happen, but unfortunately for Hendersonville, unable to pick it up. But looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down. This is 4-down territory for them. Kicking team has had problems tonight. Might as well go for it and try to slam the door on this one.
Again, number 33, Reagan O'Brien, is right behind him and is put out to the left edge, and he is going to depend on the spot.
Boy, it is right there on the first down marker. No yellow marker on this TV
screen. And that is
screen,
going to be I think that's going to be... They're going to bring the stick out for the half of a yard.
So many thoughts going through the players' minds right now. We're about to see an emotional sideline one way or the other.
It's going to be a first down, Hendersonville at the 7-yard line.
And there you go. Hendersonville just continues to find ways to extend the drive. And for the Shelbyville Central defense, that is absolutely devastating. You think you've finally gotten off the field, and as they continue to play more football, they just continue to get worn down. The fatigue is starting to get to them, and that's going to open up opportunities for this Hendersonville offense to strike.
And that was Steven Mack. And the ball is fumbled, picked up, and recovered by Manning at the 10-yard line. Clock still winds. 2nd and 10.
Boy,
5 minutes to go in the 4th.
Boy, I'll tell you, Zachary, that was almost a repeat of the stumble and fumble between Tennessee and Arkansas. As we saw, Manning lost the football right there. And thankfully for Hendersonville, it was picked up, or that could have been a disastrous play after such an amazing drive. Again, that awareness to pick up the ball, absolutely critical.
Ball's handed to the outs edge, and he jumps, and he gets 2 yards.
Well, you saw he tried to make something happen there and did the hurdle job once again. We've seen that a lot tonight with several different players, but hurdles can be risky. Sometimes that can result in a loss of the ball. Looks like we're going to see an official's timeout here.
As there's going to be an official timeout for, it looks like that is going to be, yes, so that is number 21, Radon Crenshaw. We saw him hobbling earlier in the game.
Boy, he's feeling it right now. Looks like hard to speculate on what it could be, but our best wishes with him. He has been an absolute warrior tonight, trying to make plays and staying in the trenches. This game has been physical, and it wears and it tears on the players. Got to love the intensity and the devotion they have, and really we're seeing the incredible nature of football.
It's a hard-nosed game. Ellis outside. Can he slam the door? No, he can't. There's a flag. This may come back for holding.
Oh, and that was absolutely crucial. Ellis could see the end zone right ahead of him. Was about to have his 2nd touchdown of the night. Unfortunately, looks like it's going to come back in another costly penalty. Transaction has been made.
Decisions.
Big decisions as well. And, you know, one good thing for Hendersonville is it is 4-down territory for them, as we've seen in different parts of this game.
You almost have to take the penalty here. 4th and 2 from the 2. With all the misdirection and all the different ways that they've ran the same formation, it seems like there's times where Shelbyville Central they can't keep up.
Absolutely. I think that there's, again, it comes back to a lot of the fact that they've been on the field for so long. Pretty much since this 4th quarter began, Hendersonville has just controlled the ball and made sure that Shelbyville Central cannot get the ball back. They're getting to it. They're feeling it right now. Their lungs are absolutely burned up. They're trying to make sure that they continue to make plays, but there's only so much you can do, and as long as Hendersonville continues to keep the ball, good things are going to continue to happen for them.
See Coach Dryden right there talking to the head official. Both sides are ready for play to start. As they are talking over where to accept the penalty or decline it. Probably talking yardage.
Likely, and I'll tell you what this does, Zachary. It changes the entire tempo of the game. It was up-paced, fast beat. We were seeing plays every single snap very quickly, but now all of a sudden it slows down, kind of like a smooth ride on the interstate. Now you're kind of just taking it at about 40 instead of the 70 miles an hour we were seeing earlier. So now it's a little more leisurely. Let's see how these teams handle it, and let's see if that changes the nature of the game.
Penalty is declined. That's what they were talking about. 4th and 6. 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go in this game. 4th down to go. Clock is running.
All right, it's game time now. This is when great players have to rise up and make plays one side or the other. Who is going to come out on top?
Biggest play of the night, and that's going to be a timeout, Hendersonville Commandos. Oh, no, excuse me. Timeout, Shelbyville Central Golden Eagles.
The old timeout. And again, we see another great play right there, and now the tension builds a little bit longer.
And the tension's going to go into break as you are watching the MTN Sports Game of the Week.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU.
Welcome back to Shelbyville, Tennessee for the MTN Sports Game of the Week. Biggest play of the night, 4th and 6, 4th and goal, 3:53 to goal, 2-point game, Hendersonville driving.
And now if you're these players, it's time to be clutch. It's time to show that you've got that clutch ability like Tom Brady, like Joe Montana. Can you make the play that wins the game for your team? We're about to see.
Out to Baker. He's going to get to the outside. He's going to walk in. There's going to be a flag. It's coming back for holding.
Oh, my goodness, and that's some of the worst feeling you have as a player. Mack thought he was in the end zone, thought it was over. And now suddenly hold everything. We're going to have to go backwards. Never what you want to see as a player, and that's such a devastating blow for this Hendersonville offense. But now it's going to be another repeat. But, again, they do keep the ball a little bit longer, so could play to their favor, but this looks like it could be a defeater.
As you're seeing on your screen, Shelbyville Central defender celebrating that penalty.
Yeah, he's relieved. He's just feeling it, man, getting out on the dance floor and having some fun here tonight.
Yes.
Had some pretty nice dance moves there.
4th and 13. Do you bring out the kicking unit?
Looks like the answer is no right now. And again, I think with how they've been moving it and how skittish the kicking game has been on both sides, you almost have to do this. But we're going to see what they got in store. This is a critical play, maybe probably the most critical of the night. Let's see if Luke Manning can be a hero right here for his team.
Manning back in the pocket. He fires it up. Goes to his playmaker. Ellis can't come down with it. Turnover on downs. 3:44 left to go. Shelbyville Central ball. 2 timeouts.
Gavin Donegan said, no thank you. We are not going to let that be the end of the game. What a play and what a playmaker that was right there. This game was inches away from being over, but Gavin Donegan just kept the hope alive for Shelbyville Central. What an incredible swat of the ball.
Wow. We can catch our breath for a second before this big drive coming up. Oh, my goodness. What a game. It's had it all.
What a game. This should easily be rated 5 stars on any platform. I mean, my goodness, there's been twists, there's been turns. It's the perfect story, the perfect narrative, and now you've got one more chance, one more last gasp. If you're the Golden Eagles, let's see if they can come up golden right here. You've got another opportunity. You've got to say thank you to your defense and make this count.
Cunningham. He fires deep. Does he have a man? No, he doesn't. He overthrows Kendall Trice.
He had Trice open, too. If it had been a little bit more accurate, that would have been a potential touchdown down the sideline. Unfortunately for Shelbyville Central, just out of reach. It's a game of inches. It really is. And, again, there was evidence of it right there. Like we saw in the SWAT, and again we see it with the wide receiving core. You got to be so precise and make such precise plays to make this game happen. And now instead of a touchdown, it's 2nd down.
3:38 to go. Fasten your seatbelts. You're in it for the long run right here.
Let's see what Cunningham has in mind. He's made dynamic plays all night. Might need another one right here.
It's going to be almost intercepted. The ball was thrown behind Cameron Grogan, but you almost saw Mason Baker, the sophomore, come up with one of the plays of the game. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Mason Baker made a diving board kind of play, just doing everything he could, stretching out for that final inch, but he just couldn't salvage it right there. And Shelbyville Central had their heart stop for just a moment. You got to avoid those mistakes. You got to read coverage in a better way than that. You can't throw it into traffic where it might result in a collision. Let's see if Shelbyville Central can make a play here. Cunningham trying to be a hero.
3rd and 10, big play here for the Shelbyville Central offense. Young goes out wide. He's back in the pocket. He has a man over the middle. Can he does! Young, 43, 1st down.
Go North, Young. Continue to make plays for your team, and that is exactly what he did. Laquan Young finding the open lane and making it happen. And we said Cunningham might need to be a hero. Well, he was Superman right there, making an accurate throw. He might not be perfect on every play, but he made a play when he had to. That is an intangible and a great reason why Cade Cunningham is such a dynamic quarterback.
What a throw. Clock is running. as now Cunningham back in the shotgun. Young beside him here. Ball's handed off to Young, and Young has nowhere to go, but still spins forward for a gain of 1.
And again, even though they didn't gain much there, they did gain something. You want to avoid those negative plays right now, especially when you get down to the end of the game. So many teams sometimes implode. They make fumbles. They make interceptions. They try to force something when they get too hyped up. You got to stay calm. You got to stay tethered to the ground right now. Just make the plays you need to. Make the clutch plays when you need them, and you'll have a chance to win this game.
They are about 40 yards out of the freshman Ben Betzelberger's field goal range.
Let's see what Cunningham dials up right here.
Cunningham. Pressure, feels the pressure, throws it up. It's incomplete. He couldn't come down with it. It was thrown up to Cameron Grogren, and Grogren could not come down with it. 2:15 to go. 3rd and 9.
Grogren made a great effort right there to get to the ball, but the defense was just too much at that point. Sometimes when you've got that many defenders on you, you just can't make the play. But the fact is, they're still being bold. They're still taking shots. They're not going to be scared. They're not going to play not to lose. They are playing to win right now. You got to love the play style from Shelbyville Central. And that's what you got to do to win football games, especially when you've had issues on offense. Sometimes you got to take risks and make plays.
2:15 to go. 3rd and 9. Can they have another big play on 3rd and 9? It is to Trice. Trice cannot get the hole. He keeps his feet moving. He's still up. He's to the 49. 2 minutes to go. 4th and about 3.
Never underestimate the heart of a football player right there. Trice looked like he was down, looked like it was over, but he never gave up. He found that extra oomph to put the ball even further down the field, and that yardage could be absolutely huge. But now it's 4th down and 4. Likely the game.
The Golden Eagles are taking their time. This has to be a first down. Has to gain 5 yards, or this game is almost over.
Looking for probably a short pass here of some sort, or maybe something quick up the middle, a wide receiver sweep as well. Playbook is open, but they've got to make the right one.
7 seconds to go on the play clock. Young goes in motion. Everyone on their feet. Cunningham throws it to the outside. It's incomplete. He doesn't look it in. Trice drops it. First down, Hendersonville. Turnover on downs.
And that is likely the game right there, folks. Hendersonville trying to find a way, and they do. They get the ball out of Trice's hands, and now Shelbyville Central comes off the field disappointed. But for the Hendersonville sideline, elation and euphoria is currently engulfing them. And what a great defensive play. Even though they had issues, even though they couldn't stop them at points, they made the play when they need to. And that is what separates normal teams from great ones. And Hendersonville has proven that tonight.
They can't take knees. This game's still not over. Shelbyville Central has all 3 timeouts.
Absolutely. Game is not over yet. So if you're Hendersonville, now you've got to just close this thing out. You got to close it and make sure you end this one. And they're going to, looks like, get into the kneeling formation anyway.
They are going to take a knee. As they may have only 2 timeouts to go.
Yeah, it looked like our scoreboard originally said there were 3, but there could have been only 2, which is why they decided to kneel. It was a curious decision if there were 3, but it would make more sense if they only had 2 timeouts. For Shelbyville Central can only stop the clock 2 times in that case.
So now the real scoreboard on the field is saying Shelbyville Central is out of timeouts, 2 kneel downs, and we are going to be done here. What a game. What an atmosphere. What a finish.
What a night it was, honestly. Hendersonville and Shelbyville Central gave us everything we could have hoped for and then some. What a game. There were twists, turns, there were fumble recoveries, there were pick sixes, and there were key defensive plays at key moments. And players showing themselves grit, determination. Cade Cunningham, Ellis, Torrin Baker, and Mac, many players like that have been the stars of the show tonight. And whether you win or lost, there is a lot to be proud of on both sides. And it shows the beauty, the intensity, and the heart that is high school football.
Manning under center, victory formation. Came in here 2-0 on the season on the road. Gonna leave 3-0.
Absolutely. And we talked about their success on the road early in the season, and they keep that moving forward. And you talk about momentum heading into the postseason, already virtually a lock to win the district, and now another victory adds to it. They just continue to be successful on the road and find that extra gear, that fifth gear that they're going to need, and this is going to be absolutely critical. What a big win for them. Heartbreaking loss for Shelbyville Central as they'll drop to 2-5, but they got to keep their heads up. They had a lot of talent, and they still have a lot to play for this season. Look for the Golden Eagles.
So, one more kneel down, and we are going to end this game. Shelbyville Central put up a hard-fought game. The number 9 team in state escapes Shelbyville with a win. What a game. Ellis has everything to be proud of. Pick 6 to basically take the game over. First down after first down. Over 100 yards of total offense for him. He just dominated.
Absolutely. What a game it was on both sides of the football. All three units were critical here, special teams, offense, and defense. And again, if you want to think about small things that made an impact, look at the final score, 2 points. That failed two-point conversion by Shelbyville Central made all the difference. But there were many things, the punts, the special teams, the block kicks, the inability to score in the end zone, and the red zone trips by Shelbyville Central early. Those are the key events, the moments that we said could be critical, and they absolutely were. It's those moments where you got to perform, and they made all the difference tonight.
They definitely did. And now, as we are going to wrap up this game, talk about this defensive affair that we saw, the 2 turnovers. What does this type of win do for Hendersonville?
Well, for Hendersonville, this is absolutely huge. They moved to 5-2, 3-0 on the road, and that was a defensive masterclass. Ellis with that pick 6 was the key play. He made something happen for his team. He showed the determination and the perseverance on that play, and this defense really shut down Shelbyville Central's offense. They tried the deep shot in the first half. It worked, but it didn't work after that, and that shows Hendersonville adapted. They knew what they needed to do, and they made plays when they had to make them.
And you just saw Ellis and Manning walking off together. Manning, the game manager, made plays when he had to. What stood out for you today for him?
Well, I think Manning was very efficient, especially in the second half, made plays when he needed to, and that final drive towards the end, they just ball controlled the offense. Would make Bill Parcells proud, let me tell you. They held the ball for so long that Shelbyville Central only had one chance when they got the ball back, and that shows that they were able to hold the ball and make plays, and most of all, keep this game under wraps, and that shows the greatness of Hendersonville in this one.
It definitely did. Now to Shelbyville Central, what does this type of game do to their confidence? Again, they were not expected to win this game, and they were in it to the very end.
Well, while it might be a disappointing loss and they're feeling it on the sideline right now, there's still a lot to be proud of, a lot to take away. They played with heart, determination, and passion on offense and defense. And 1 or 2 things go different, they're winning this game. So not a lot to be, to be sad about. There's still a lot to improve on. Shelbyville Central still a lot to be proud of.
As now we are looking at the alma mater of Shelbyville Central. Again, thank you to all of our listeners tonight and all those who tuned in. Thank you to Shelbyville Central for this opportunity. Be sure to tune in to Channel 9 tomorrow morning at 10:30 for this week's episode of Blue Raider Extra Point, with the special being on the Liberty Flames. For Dylan Simmons, I am Zachary Lohn. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week in Eagleville.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2.
I'm going to that game.